Hey guys, welcome back. So got a swatch review and mini tutorial video for y'all today on this palette. This is the BH Cosmetics Glam Reflection L'Amour palette. So we're gonna do like we normally do in these videos. We will talk about the pricing, we'll look at the packaging, we'll look at some swatches, I'll talk about the formula of these shadows and just my experience with working with them and what I think about them, my overall thoughts and review on this palette, and then I'm also gonna show you a little mini tutorial on this look right here. Got a little bit dramatic, got a little bit dark, but I think it's fun. I think it's fun and something different. So yeah, let's get to the video. So the price of this palette will vary based on whatever sales BH Cosmetics has going on at the time, but retail it's $15.99. So a good price point on it. This is what the outside sleeve looks like. So it's that kind of reflective sort of packaging like the other Glam Reflections palettes are, but I like this one the most since it's kind of a pinky red. It's beautiful. So the outside little sleeve is reflective and then the actual palette is super reflective. So super duper reflective, but pretty. I've said this before, like super reflective packaging is not my favorite because it's, you know, kind of looks dirty and you see fingerprints and stuff, but I love this color, so this one makes me happy. So I kind of like this one. It does look dirty, but I just love the color to it. So this is what the inside of the palette looks like. You do get a really nice functional mirror in there, which is great. So in this palette, you do have a nice variety of mattes and shimmers, which I really, really like. Now, originally I didn't purchase this palette because online it looked overall really dark. Like I couldn't really tell how light these shades over here were, and I thought, man, it just looks like a lot of smoky colors. It is pretty, you know, balanced between deep shades and light shades, but I do really feel like that this palette is missing some more blending shades and transition shades. Like it's got this one right here, but that's about it. So, I mean, you can kind of bring in this one, but that one right there, you really can't start with that color. At least my skin tone, I can't. Deeper skin tones you could, but I just feel like it needs a couple more transition shades in here overall. But it is a really pretty kind of like Valentine's-y collection of colors. This is when this released, was around that time. So it does have that kind of vibe to it, and I'm happy to see that there are some pinks in here. I really couldn't tell that online either. I wasn't sure if it was really more pinky or more kind of like deep raspberry, burgundy sort of colors. I was hoping for kind of pinky colors. And I mean, you do get both in here, but you do get some nice pink colors. So there is a little look at the palette. Let's look at some swatches. So here they are, overall really pretty. I mean, the mattes are just beautiful. Love the mattes, like especially this one is gorgeous. I really love this one. I love this one. So there are definitely some standout awesome shades in this palette, particularly the mattes. We'll talk more about the formula in just a second, but just in looking at the swatches, you can see, I mean, there is some variety as far as pigmentation goes. Like this one right here, I specifically used in the eye look today because it has to be built up in a swatch, but I mean, it is very workable. You just have to kind of do a little bit of tweaking. Nothing that a good like setting spray, you know, won't fix. And then this one over here is another one that kind of has to be built up. But overall, I mean, there's definitely some beautiful shades in this palette. I just really like the whole theme of this palette. Like the whole color collection is really fun. Now let's talk about the formula on these shadows. So just like in my review for the other two Glam Reflections palettes, I kind of feel like the same thing is happening here in that there are kind of several different kinds of shadows in this palette. Love the mattes. I think those have a great formula. They blend really well. They're pigmented, but not like difficult to work with. Just a really nice formula on the mattes. So love the mattes. And then there are some in here like this really beautiful gold. That's one of those that's like super pigmented and really like buttery and just a really nice metallic formula to work with. This one is another one of those. This one is really, really nice. But then you have some like the one that I used on my eyes today where it's kind of mostly like a satin with some shimmer in it. And those I find a little bit more difficult to work with because there's more fallout with them. Those shadows in general from any brand are not my favorite, where they just kind of have shimmer sort of suspended in it. I kind of like it better when it's in sort of a buttery formula of a shadow, like a really nice metallic, because it just seems to adhere better and it looks more intense on the eyes. So I mean, it is workable, but not my favorite formula. So there are some of those in here. So there's kind of, you know, different things going on in here. Is this my favorite palette ever? No. Is this my favorite formula of shadow ever? No, but I do think that this is definitely an improvement on some of their older palettes that they had. I still really liked those. I said the same thing in my other Glam Reflections review video. I liked those and I thought that they were still workable, but these are definitely better. So these are a step up and I think they're definitely workable. I think this palette is still absolutely worth getting for the mattes if you like this collection of colors, because the mattes are really nice. You have some beautiful metallics in here and you can make those other ones work. You might just have to do a little bit of tweaking, use some kind of a setting spray, something like that to make them work the best way possible. So overall, I do like this palette. It's not my favorite palette, but I love the packaging. I love the collection of colors in here. I think it's just a fun, creative, different palette. If I had to choose between the different ones that I have of the Glam Reflections, I think that Rosé is overall my favorite just because that's beautiful and neutral and just one that I'm probably going to get a lot of use out of. And this one is probably my second favorite because I do really like it. I just like the fun collection of pinky colors and also some smoky ones mixed in there too. All right, so that wraps up the review portion. So now we are going to move on to the tutorial on this look right here. So let's get to it. Okay, so I've already applied some eyeshadow primer. So I'm going to start with this color right here and get some of that on a Cozette D220 brush, and I'm going to apply that into my crease and transition area and just build this color up. I'm going to get some of this shade right here on a Colourpop E9 brush, and I'm going to put that right into my crease once again, just kind of getting this really pinky crease going. So pretty. Now I'm going to take a flat concealer brush and get some of this color right here. Really pack that on my brush, tap it off, and then I'm going to build this up on my lid for a really fun, deep, smoky eye. I'm just going back and doing a little bit of blending to soften out that line between those colors. Okay, I want to see if I can bring out some more of that shimmer in that dark color, so I'm just going to use it with some setting spray to see if that'll bring out a little bit of the sparkle. I think that did help, and also I think that is going to help eliminate some creasing. I did have to do a little bit of cleanup under my eyes because I did have some fallout, not a ton, but I definitely had some. And I don't know if I tapped off my brush that last time, so that might have done it. For my brow bone, I'm going to use N Wild Brûlée because there is a white in there, but it's like a stark white, so I don't want that. So I'm going to use this one to kind of clean up a little bit and highlight my brow bone. For my lower lash line, I'm going to get a little bit of this color and apply that with a BH Cosmetics number 10 brush. I think I want to bring just a little bit of brightness to this look, so I'm going to get some of this gold shade right here on a pencil brush and just apply that on kind of the inner part of my lid. Okay, so the left side is looking purpley because I had used this for something else yesterday, this brush, and didn't clean it off well. So whoopsie. We're just going to layer that until it looks gold and not purple. Just softening the line between that dark shade and that inner corner shade, just so it's not quite as harsh. And now I'm just going to finish up with some liner and some mascara. Alright guys, so that wraps up this video. So I hope that you really enjoyed it and hope it was helpful for you. Please hit thumbs up if it was, and let me know down below if you've tried this palette. What do you think about it? I love hearing your thoughts and opinions. Ask me any questions that you have. I'm happy to answer those. Please subscribe to my channel if you're not already, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!